this is going to be a nighttime look, the first thing I'm going to start off with is just a regular moisturizer. And for the moisturizer, I'm going to be using the Cerave Pm moisturizer. It looks like this. I use it very often because it's got the 3 essential ceramides, niacinamides, and hyaluronic acid. It's got good stuff for your face, and why miss an opportunity to put extra good stuff, especially those 3 things, on your face. It's very beneficial for any signs of aging. So, get this spread around and then just kind of press it into the skin. You don't want to wipe away too much. Get it to where it's going to go. Kind of press, or else you're not going to get as much of the actual moisturizer on your skin. You're just kind of wiping it away. Get the moisturizer on. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set before we put anything else on, including a primer, because it's going to be like what's going to make the primer cling. It's going to what everything that I put on top of it is going to make it stay even better, because summertime you're sweating a lot and things are just melting off of you. So this is just going to help try to prevent that a little bit more. And for that, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray, because it stays really good. It's not overly dewy. So nothing really moves on top of it because of the formula. So I like to use that underneath my makeup if I'm going to try to use it before I put the makeup on. So we're just going to go ahead and apply a couple sprays of that. A couple billion sprays. And let it dry a little bit. And I like that stuff. It smells really good and it works really well. Wave it down a little bit, and then I'm going to pat it into the skin with my beauty blender. I'm not really pressing hard. I'm just kind of tapping. So mind you, this is a look I already kind of wore all day. Not really all day, like most of the day though. And it stayed really well throughout the whole day. And what I love about this is that it's all really affordable stuff. You don't gotta go order it online. You can literally get in your car, drive to Walmart or a drugstore, and get all this stuff and put it on your face just like I did. What I'm using for the primer today is going to be the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Luminex. I'm going to use that just like I have before, like a dime size amount, and apply it to the center of my face. So now that we have the primer down, we're going to be putting on our foundation. The foundation we're going to be using today is the Maybeline Fit Me. It's in shade 125, and it's got SPF 18 in it. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, really. You don't need it, but it's the perfect shade for me right now because I'm in between self-tanning. So I'm just going to take that and put it here. So now that I've got it all moved around, I'm taking it and I'm pressing it very, very, very firmly to my skin with the beauty blender on that flat end. So I'm making sure it's pressed into my skin and not just floating on top of it. We are going to be putting on our Maybelline again. This is pretty much like a Wet n Wild Maybelline video. Our Maybelline New York Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I love this thing. Listen to that. I don't know why that's so satisfying. I put way too much. Anyways, so instead of using this thing to apply it to my face, I actually use, if I can find it, this little tiny brush. So with my concealer, what I'm doing is I'm bringing it up towards, because I have dark circles on my inner eye, so I'm bringing it up all the way to there, and I'm bringing it down towards my nose, and I'm bringing it out a little bit. I'm not trying to bring it out towards my crow's feet,
because I smile. When I smile hard. When I laugh hard. So I have really bad wrinkles already for a 30-year-old female. But I also have 4 kids, so let's just defend myself there for a second. But anyways, I don't want to bring it out towards my crow's feet, because the more you put on top of wrinkles, the worse and worse your wrinkles are going to look. You're just putting more layers on top of it, so just more and more bulk on top of it. It's just going to make you look older and older. You don't want to do that. So less is actually more in that case. And now we're going to take our fingers and blend it in. I find that this is the best too if you have aging under eyes, is to just blend it in with your fingers, because the heat from your skin will actually melt it to your skin and make it adhere. So because I don't have any eye primers, and I see a lot of other YouTubers use a concealer as an eye primer with like a base powder. And so that's what I do, because there's no reason to have that extra product, that extra money, whenever you already have everything you already need. So I just use a concealer as my eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to go ahead and double task and just take the excess from my under eye and bring it up to my lids. And continue blending in the rest of the concealer around my face. And you want to make sure you're always blending up. So now I'm going to go back over that with a beauty blender really quickly, all the way around. We are going to go ahead and put the setting powder on, and my favorite, like you guys already know, is the Coty Airspun. It's really great, and it's like $6 at the dollar store, so if you don't have some already, you need to go and get some. And what I'm going to be doing to apply my powder, and instead of applying it with a full face brush, I'm going to be using the big end of my beauty blender. And I'm going to be tapping it into the powder and then tapping it around my whole face. And then I'm going to dust it off. Kind of like a full face bake, but not really. Not really, because I'm only just taking a little bit and I'm working it very far away. So, you guys will see. Just watch. A little bit extra right there on the inner corners, and then I'm going to take my full face brush and then dust that all off. Now that we've done all that, we're going to go straight into the eyes. I guess we could go ahead and do eyebrows. We'll go ahead and get eyebrows out of the way. I just don't like doing eyebrows because I feel like it looks really crazy on camera, but it is nice to go ahead and get it out of the way. That way we have like kind of like a guide for our eyeshadow where we want it to stop and begin. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I normally do. I don't like doing it on camera because it looks crazy when I have my brows on and nothing else. But we're going to do it anyways. So we're going into the Milani Stay Put. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to angle it from right there where I have the patchy area, and I'm going to bring it out.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time.
Using this Groovy on here. I think it's probably a little bit warmer than what I need, but we're going to use it anyways. It's right here in this Profusion palette. Ooh, there we are. Boom, Groovy. And we're going to be going in with this little angle. And we're going to just fill the outer part of the brow.
Forever free.
Really quickly, I put a little bit more of that Maybelline concealer to shape it up. It's a really easy trick. It's kind of self-explanatory. You just want to clean up anything you messed up, and like say if you went too wide on one or went too high on one, you can just easily take a little tiny brush and put it right over it, and then just kind of tap it in with your finger or continue to blend it in with the brush. It's up to you. Okay. And now we're going to be getting into the eyes. The first thing we're going to do is put down a base with our big fluffy brush, and you can use any big fluffy brush. I'm just using the same one I always use. I'm not going to keep reiterating and being redundant on what kind of brushes I use because I don't really have that many new ones. Whenever I do get a new one, I'm testing it out. Trust me, you guys will know. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into this Polite up here, and we're going to put it all over our lid and all the way up to the brow bone. So now that that is done, I'm going to be going into my transition color, which I'm going to be using the Oasis. And the Oasis is just this little pretty color right here. And you want to tap it off so you have less fallout. I normally don't have any fallout from this palette. It's really good. And you're just taking it into this upper part right here and just kind of blending it in. Literally in. Now that you have the transition color on there, you're going to be going into the next shade up, which I'm going to be using this Outspoken right here. Where are we now? Right there, that Outspoken. And you're almost doing the same exact thing, just staying a little bit tighter. And I'm just going to kind of like pack it in right there. You're not coming all the way down here. You want to make sure you're staying high so you're not dragging your eye down. And just kind of blending it in towards your inner corner. I'm going to transfer, I'm going to switch over to a smaller blending brush. It's just a little bit more precise, has a little bit more control. Make sure it's nice and clean. And I'm going to go into the same color. And I'm going to pop it right in there onto the lid. Again, you want to make sure you're not coming down too far. You can always blend it down. And you can always clean it up. But it's just, if you do it right the first time, you don't have to worry about any of that. And then you're going to kind of bring it in through your keys. You need to bring it in through your keys. Gonna bring it in through your crease, almost all the way to the very inner corner. Now we're going to be going back to the other bigger brush, and we're going to be back into our transition color, the Oasis, and just lightly tap it in, tap it off, and we're going to go over all that with the transition color. Now to deepen it up a little bit more, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going into this Madly and Groovy. I just want to give this Groovy a little bit more of this like fuchsia shade. So the Groovy is this brown, I don't know which way to go, this browner shade. It's hard to tell in the light, maybe, I'm not sure. What I see and what you guys see is always different because I'm blinded by this light. Anyways, I'm going to tap that into the Groovy, tap it into the Madly, and then tap it off. I'm going to keep it really tight into that outer corner. And just barely coming in. Alright, now we're going to go back in with the big brush, the big fluffy one. It's not really that fluffy, but it's going to do the job. We're going to go back into the Oasis, tap it off, and we're just going to go over everything again. Alright, now that we have those colors all nice and blended and looking pretty, what we're going to do is go into our lid shade, which we're going to go into this Tickled. right here. And what I find that makes the most impact, instead of a brush, because I haven't found a brush that I can just buy from the drugstore or any kind of way to do it any better than just my finger can do. It's the best tool I've found to apply a lid color. I just get right onto it, onto my pointer finger or any kind of thing, whatever your preference is. And I'm going to put it right onto my lid. And see how pretty that is? I mean, you can't beat it. It's like $10 eye palette, and you can just get so many looks out of this palette. I love it. You want to make sure you're blending in really well. Dragging it out ever so slightly. And in. And just look at that. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to go underneath the eye now. I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'm going to do the other eye off of camera. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab you can use any kind of brush. I mean, honestly, I could use this, the same brush that I used for a little bit more control on the upper lid. But for the lower lash line, I'm just going to be using this. It doesn't even have a name. It just comes in an eye palette. But there's all kinds of, I'm using this Morphe 226. I'm just kidding. So I'm going to be using this brush right here. It's not clean, so I'm going to clean it off a little bit. I'm going to be going into the transition shade. I'm going to be bringing it about 3/4 of the way, all the way in to the inner corner. Okay. And another thing with aging eyes is you don't want to have a bunch of eyeshadow underneath your eyes. It's because it's just going to drag it down. You don't want to do that. Even though I'm young, I do have more aging eyes, so I'm not going to be putting a bunch of product underneath my eyes like you see a lot of the younger people do. I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is keep it really, really tight, and that's why I'm using the smaller brush. I'm going to go into the Outspoken right down here. I'm always going the wrong way. And I'm just going to take it not even half of the way, like 1/4 of the way. And then I'm going to use the Inspire brush and kind of just sweep it back and forth under the eye and up. I'll be highlighting the inner corner with this Exclusive right here. It's a nice shimmery shade. Very, very pretty. And I'm going to be putting it right on the inner corner with my pinky. Again, you get the most product, the most bang, whenever you just use your fingers. And I'm going to take the same brush and kind of just clean that up and drag it out a little bit. Ta-da! You've got one eye for eyeshadow done. Alright. So I already did the eyeliner on my other eye. I'm going to show you really quickly how I did it on this eye. Super easy. I'm using the LA Colors Grafix eyeliner. It's a really wet eyeliner, so you kind of want to clean the brush off. Just cleaning it off right there on the opening. You don't want too much product. It's going to get messy if you have too much on there. The last thing you want. And you're going to start about halfway in, about where your pupil is. And you just want to drag it out. And don't go all the way down. You don't want to go all the way down because it's just going to bring your eyes down. You want it just a little bit, like a centimeter, not even that, of where you don't have eyeliner. And I'm going to start bringing it in. You see where I haven't gone all the way down. And then re-wet the brush a little bit and do the inner eye, the inner corner. And that is it for eyeliner. I think I'm a little bit thicker on this side than I am on this side, so I'm just going to fix that really quickly. Now that that's all done, now we're going to pop on some lashes. I'm going to stay zoomed in really quick and get this done. So you're just going to grab your lash curlers and curl your lashes before you put on any falsies. That's a very important step. Give them a good curl. A quick coat of mascara, and I'm not even going to mention what mascara I'm using. Brush it off a little bit with your brush, and then you're going to grab your tweezers and your lash glue. So grab your tweezers, grab a hold of your lashes, make sure they got a nice little curve in them because your eyeball isn't straight. And take whatever lash glue you have, whatever eyelash glue you prefer, and put a small bead of it across the lash. Let it dry a little bit. Anyways, we're about dry now, so we're going to stick it onto our eyeball. So I put it on there. I put it as close to my eyelash line as I possibly could. And now I'm pinching it in order for it to blend with my actual lashes and to kind of bring it down onto that lash line a little bit more. Then my lashes are a little bit longer than I actually want them, so I'm going to trim them down a little bit. I just use hair cutting scissors today because I have lost the theme of this video is where everything goes wrong. I've lost my little eyelash trimming scissors, so I'm just using my hair cutting scissors, and what I'm doing is I'm just ever so slightly trimming that right there and then coming out a smidge bit more. Because we just want that extra va-va-voom on the corner. And now we're going to apply another coat of mascara on the top lashes and then finish our bottom coat as well. So really quick, I'm going to finish the rest of my face on this side, and then I'll finish the lashes on this side because it is mildly time consuming, whereas just applying some powder really quickly, super easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, really quickly we're going to just put on some bronzer, our contour, and then we're also going to put on our blush and our highlighter just to go ahead and get the face done, and then I'll quickly finish the other eye and we'll come back with the completed look and we'll talk about everything and we'll do our outro. And don't forget the lips though. Alright, so we're using the Profusion's highlight and contour palette, same thing we used in our last video, and we're just going to use this brush right here the whole time. It's nice, it's quicker if you don't have to keep bouncing back and forth through brushes. We're going to go into the light sculpt and we're going to get it all over the whole brush, and we're just going to kind of start on the tops of the ear and work down towards the mouth, not coming too far in. It's amazing how much that changes your face. And then you're going to go into the same shade, get it all over the brush, and you're just going to work it onto the forehead. And don't be shy, you can come on down a little bit with it. And I'll make sure you're working it into the hairline. and blending everything really well. And then you're going to go into the Tan Sculpt and do the same thing, but in more of sweeping motions towards the hairline. Tan Sculpt is just a shade or two darker, and it's just going to deepen that up, so it's like transitioning from light to dark towards the hairline, creating that nice contour. And then you're just going to mostly get it right on the tip, just the tip. Tap it off. You're going to work it into the highs of the under part of your cheekbone, and just kind of work it down and in and towards the hairline. Don't be shy. I'm just kind of blending it up towards the temple a little bit to kind of bring it all together. Oh, look at those cheekbones. Okay, and now we're going to shade in our nose a little bit with the big fluffy brush. Clean it off a little bit. Go into the light sculpt, tap it off, and just kind of bring it down a little bit. Same thing on the other side. Not getting crazy with it. And right there at the end of the nose, kind of trying to delete my tip of my nose there out a little bit. I'll shorten my nose because it's a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take the same light sculpt and put it underneath my lip to create a little bit of an extra pout. And then that is all done for the tanning, sculpting, and contouring. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of blushing with the e.l.f. blush palette. We are going to go in with the full face brush from e.l.f. We're just going to kiss that favorite shade of mine right there in the corner. Tap it off and then smile a little bit. Find the apples and just tap it in to the apples and then in towards your temples. I'm also going to hit the middle of my forehead towards the hairline and the end of my nose a little bit with the excess. And now I'm going to highlight with that same palette that I used before. There it is. And I'm going to use the shade Heartfelt. Just going into it with the same brush. It is, I haven't mentioned it, it's the e.l.f. highlight brush. And I'm just going to lightly kiss the tip of my nose, the very high tip of my nose, to make my tip look like it's higher than it is. And then just right there on the bridge. And then I'm going to pat it into my cheeks and drag it in towards my brow. And don't get crazy with the highlighter. Also, if you have aging eyes, because it's just going to draw more attention to where you have your crow's feet. So I try not to do too heavy with it. I do my best. I love highlighter though. It's pretty, okay? Don't judge me. I'm going to use this L'Oreal Color Reach Nudes for Life lip liner to line my lips. Now we're going to apply the night side of this lip duo from e.l.f. Needed Nudes. And it goes really good with these eyes. So we're pretty much done. The last thing that we have to do after we have everything done is we're going to set it. And today what we're going to be using to set it is this Maybelline Make It Dewy setting spray. Alright, so what I do to set it is I shake it up because it's got all that make it dewy stuff in it. So you want to make sure it's all mixed together. It doesn't say shake before use, but shake it, okay? You shake it, and then you hold it pretty far away from your face, okay? And then you look up a little bit, and then you just wave her down a little bit. And she is really dewy at first, but don't worry, it'll settle down. It won't look so oily or greasy. So while that's doing its thing, let's go ahead and do our outro. Overall, this is a really good look. It's a really affordable look. It does take a little bit of time. It especially took me a little time because I had to explain it to you guys. Once you do it once or twice, though, you will have it down. It'll take you like 30 minutes to slap it on, and then you can go and do your thing, girl, okay? This is for, I mean, you can put some sunscreen on and make this a day look if you want to, but this is more directed to like you're going out at night, hanging out with your girls, doing whatever, hanging out with your dude at night, going somewhere. It's like your summer nighttime look. Maybe if you're gonna be dancing, clubbing, whatever, you want that to stand the test of your sweating and getting all slimy the best that it possibly can. So, if you like this look, remember to like it. You gotta put that thumbs up, baby. And as always, you know you need to share it. You gotta share it. You gotta get your girl out there. Don't be greedy and keep me all to yourself. You gotta share her a little bit, okay? And the next thing that you need to do is don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Just don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't. Oh no. I'm falling apart.